Info is the greatest industry you can enter in 2026. It has high profit margins, easy setup, and low risk. But most people do it wrong, ruining their reputation and losing the opportunity as a whole. But after scaling my own consulting business to over 500K in profit with consistent cash flow, 4-hour workdays, and successful clients, I've cracked the code to building a legit info business. Today, I'll reveal the secrets that I've discovered to build a sustainable info business that gets results, referrals, and testimonials, so you can too. The first thing you want to do is not guarantee results. The #1 course seller in the entire world is Harvard. They make over $6 billion in revenue per year, yet they don't promise any of their students that they're gonna get a high-paying job after their 4 years in college. Why? Because it's not guaranteed. And they understand that reputation is the most important factor to building a legit business that everyone wants to buy from. So they aren't open to lying to make a couple extra sales. Instead, they show data to show exactly what the average student is able to achieve. This is cold, hard facts that no one can argue against, rather than some cherry-picked case study. And quite frankly, this allows them to build trust and scale. Harder to sell this way? Maybe you're right, but that is sort of the point. First of all, you don't want to sell to people who simply aren't qualified for what you have to offer. Not only will they struggle to get results, but they also will probably leave a negative review about your product or service. And this ruins brand reputation, which, like I've said, is the #1 factor in growing a legit info business. Every single business needs their list of values and things they look for in an ideal client. And, if someone comes into a discovery call and they do not check one of those boxes, you might have to politely redirect them to someone else's service or some other video you put out for free online that could service them. And if they are fit, then they typically don't need a guarantee because they can just see the value. Most info entrepreneurs nowadays sell generalized courses because they want the most repeatable process, the most scalable process that they can give to every single client while being completely hands-off. But the problem with that is you're not going to get optimal results for clients. Everyone you work with is starting from a different position and they need a tailored solution to their problems. So this is where selling your time comes in. Let's say you're a YouTube strategy expert and you want to target business owners to help them grow on YouTube and acquire clients in that way. That's very similar to an offer I was running just last year. You could make a course talking about titles, thumbnails, editing, scripting, and everything in between. But there's a nuance there because most of the time those business owners don't even need that advice. They've heard the basic thumbnail advice, they've heard the basic title and editing advice. What they need is something very specific and tailored for their problems. The alternative is you could hop on a call with one of those business owners and actually workshop the next video with them live on that call. This not only allows you to teach each client differently according to their learning styles, but it also allows you to get straight to the valuable information that they need. Rather than explaining every little detail about what makes a good thumbnail in a 1-hour module, you could hop on a call with them and workshop their next thumbnail with them to show them exactly how you go about making these things. Doing this live not only allows them to understand your frameworks and methodologies, but also how your brain works in the exact process you're trying to teach them for their exact channel. This also allows you to sell your product as a done with you instead of a do it yourself, as you can do a lot of the work with them or even for them. And that's exactly why we call this way of servicing clients the white glove fulfillment method. It's a premium personalized solution that allows you to charge high prices. But I know what all of you guys are thinking, but Trey, this isn't as scalable as a course. You surely can't make 6 figures a month with this. But that is completely incorrect. Let's say Timmy over here launched a $25 cookbook to his Instagram audience, but Jacob strategically crafted a $10,000 private chef package where he'll fly out and cook for you in person for a week. Who do you think makes more money? Since you're working so closely with each client, you get to sell at an exceptionally high premium price. This not only allows you to make way more cash per prospect that comes into your funnel, but it also only allows you to work with the high-end clients. This is why everyone says sell to the rich. You sign a $50 client and they're constantly on top of you, trying to extract as much value as humanly possible. Then you sign a $20,000 client and they simply ask, where do I send the wire? If you're constantly selling hands-off low ticket, you will never know how many 10K clients, 20K clients you missed out on. And this is exactly why we reframe a fundamental rule in business and we sell our time for money strategically. If you're an expert in any field, whether it be business, content, cooking, or even fitness, and you aren't making the money you think you deserve, I just started working one-on-one with individuals just like you to help you build or scale your own coaching or consulting business. We do this all using the exact ethical info business business framework that's worked for us and all of our clients. So book a call with the top link in the description and we can see if you're a good fit. Point number 3. A legit info business teaches clients how to make decisions, not just how to copy steps. Many programs tell clients to follow exact steps, reuse the same templates, and copy past examples. This honestly can create quick progress at the start. However, when market conditions shift, when tactics stop working, when a new problem arises, clients simply just don't know how to adjust. They wait for instructions or for that SOP that you promised them, rather than thinking through the problem. And when results slow down, they blame the program rather than their own execution. This is like a driving instructor who teaches a student only one route to school. That student can drive that one route really well. But if there's traffic, a road closure, or a detour, the student can't finish the drive unless they, pull out Waze or use GPS. But let's imagine that's out of the picture. And even if they did have Waze or GPS telling them which way to go, they don't know those streets. And they weren't taught how to read streets. They were just taught how to take one route. A much stronger approach is to teach clients how decisions are made. White glove fulfillment allows this because you get to work with each client live and show them why actions are made. Clients learn how to evaluate options, spot problems, and correct mistakes. Over time, they become confident operators who can continue without constant guidance. This creates respect, trust, and lastly, long-term referrals. Point number 4, start narrow or you will be ignored. A legit info business serves one specific person with one specific problem. If a business just simply claims that they target entrepreneurs who want freedom, the ICP is going to be extremely confused. There's no clear problem, there's no clear goal, and there's no clear outcome. This uncertainty makes people hesitate and delays buyer decision. This is why we have different types of doctors. We have cardiologists for the heart, dermatologists for the skin, neurologists for nerves, and even surgeons for orthopedics and plastic. Because each doctor treats one part of the body, patients know exactly who to trust for their problem. Serving a narrow group leads to better results and a lot easier servicing on your front because each client starts at a relatively similar starting point and they have very consistent challenges that arise. If you solve one problem for client X, you can use the same solution you learned from working with them for client Y and continue. This produces clearer outcomes and stronger testimonials. It also protects reputation by simply filtering out people whose problems fall outside of the offer. And lastly, you're not trying to attack the entire pie of the market on your first shot. There are authorities who have been working in the space and industry you're probably going to enter for years and years. And if you try to go broad, like let's say trying to teach business and competing against Alex Hormozi, you're going to struggle. They're not going to let you take the pie from them. But if you come in and take a little slice, they're not going to care, they're not going to notice, and customers are going to go to you rather than Alex because you teach a specific type of business model rather than just scaling businesses in general. Once you fully saturate that very tight and specific niche you've entered, you can slowly expand. So going from helping dads lose weight to helping moms and dads lose weight, it's a slight expansion. And you can just keep doing that until now you're one of the biggest fitness consultants and coaches in the entire industry. Once authority is established in a small market, expansion becomes easier and more credible. And point number 5, forget revenue. The honest truth with info is making 30K a month with 100% profit margins and no team to manage is much better than making 100K a month, but only taking home 50K because you have 50K in team expenses and having to manage 5 employees at once. In info, profit is everything. An info business is incredibly hard to sell, especially with the founder's ability and name being so tightly tied to its success. Therefore, no one should be trying to build up revenue in the business in order to exit. And that means that building an info business should solely be for cash flow. This could mean cash flow to replace your current job, maybe even adding on top of your job to support your family. Cash flow to fund a future business, which you then hope to sell that one for multiple millions, or to simply stack cash, save up, and to live your dream lifestyle very comfortably while you're young. Whatever it is, if profit is the only number that really matters in this business model, I'd rather have a very clean 30, 40, or even 50K a month profit with no team, no overhead, and no stress, rather than 60, 70, or even 80K profit with the responsibility of managing 5 to 10 to even sometimes 20 employees with different levels of management and complex systems. Hiring seems like it clears tasks off your plate, but at some point, it usually does the opposite. The more you hire, the more money you need to make to sustain the same exact profit you already have. This means that the second you hire someone, let's say a client success manager, you need to increase revenue by about 5K a month, and you're still going to be making the same amount take home. It also comes with slower decision making, having different levels of management and having to, wait on someone to get a task done who doesn't have equity in the business. The stress of having to keep everyone paid. The lack of the ability to pause your business or even completely end it whenever you feel like it's time to move on. But by the way, for my consulting business, dude, I love this thing so much. I'll probably be running this for the next 10 years. And most importantly, you'll basically be creating a job for yourself with less freedom than you initially wanted. If I were to run a restaurant right now, just a restaurant with the exact same revenue we're currently making, I would probably be in the negatives from property expenses, managing team, buying supplies, replacing equipment, and everything else in between. There are so many expenses I can't even think of all of them. Keeping a lean team, on the other hand, with, a couple employees or even none at all, maybe a freelancer or two, allows you to have complete control and live a much more peaceful lifestyle. So I'd much rather run my consulting business as a lifestyle business that allows me to, live the day-to-day I want. Go to the gym, hang out with my friends, listen to podcasts, go on walks, be with my family, eat healthy food, read books, meditate, etc. every single day, and just feel really good taking care of my health, my body, and my mind, rather than constantly being crammed with this box and cage I built around myself. And also, the client results are just so rewarding. Being able to directly influence them and knowing that there isn't company drama because some people just don't like each other just makes everything so much easier. My business partner and I have complete control of everything. We're able to service the clients and live the lifestyles we want. Nabil Ravikant has this very interesting idea that resonated with me, which I can't quote verbatim right now, but he basically said, if he were to go back 10 years and start all over, he wouldn't change anything besides being less emotional and less angry in terms of how he ran his business, less stressed all the time. And I took that to heart. I want to be able to get good sleep, feel good, and service the clients with the most clear mind I can possibly have. And I hope you do too. Now, this is the fastest way to build real wealth nowadays, but only if you do it right. Rather than chasing shortcuts or hiding behind guarantees that you can't even control, you want to build something real, something that actually helps people, that compounds trust and gives you freedom instead of stress so you can live the lifestyle you want. If you want to win fast, win in a way that you don't have to undo later.
I found you in your eyes.